Yes, I know Miss Connie has a few things with
That's okay. I
Brave.
don't have to go first.
When I feel bad, we got Gene all sorted with Firefox, and then there's a new recommended browser.
Thought of that. It took me all morning to get my makeup on to cover up the red eyes from poor Gene.
Gene, did the guy from Geek Squad, did he suggest that you run cleanups on your computer frequently or in a certain schedule or what?
Well,
Since
I
that seemed
couldn't,
to be the issue.
yeah, I couldn't get a verbal communication with him.
I see.
And he just, no, I didn't think of that, but I've heard you're supposed to get tune-ups like every month or every couple months.
Mhm.
And it'd probably been over a year.
Can you say never?
No, I have.
I don't rush to do that, but I just wondered if it's something we need to focus on because it obviously created a problem with your Facebook or Firefox account.
Yeah, and I had to wait about 45 minutes to get to a technician, but once he started, it took maybe 15 minutes was all.
Wow.
And
And
how
there's
long did you
also-
all spend with me? 45 minutes after everybody else signed off.
It was a challenge.
You should have gone on hold while we were working with you.
Then you all could have seen what was happening.
But I also wonder if it's the 100th version of it too. I don't know if you've read about that or seen that in the news.
Oh, we were just-
Firefox, Chrome, and different browsers are approaching their 100th version or already there. And it's kind of giving Y2K type things in the things. And they're hoping that, it's as minor as Y2K actually was, but they do think there's going to be some hiccups in those browsers because of that.
Well, folks,
So
maybe
that's-
not. Anyway,
I
I'm
wondered
working.
if it was
Yeah.
the startings of that. I don't know if it was or not, but it's a theory.
Sounds good.
I was like, that's as good a theory as Eddie.
Right.
But I don't know how many of you guys have the New York Times and were able to read the article that Connie forwarded. But do you want to give a summary of it, Connie? Or
No, you do it. You read it.
so it
Basically, it
she's
says
able to-
DuckDuckGo is not a good thing because all the radical right people are taking it over.
So because DuckDuckGo is focused on privacy versus most relevant search results, it is going to give you all the results regardless of if they're truthful or not. So a lot of radical rights are switching to DuckDuckGo because their belief system, some of the misinformation on the internet gets filtered up earlier. So it's actually one of the worst or search engines to find the particular articles you want. And they had a side by side of Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo and things, and Bing and DuckDuckGo were worse than Google. Google's very good at saying this is misinformation, this is things like that.
Bing controls DuckDuckGo. This is the same search engine, which I found out today by accident. As I told you, I installed Brave or whatever it's called, and then when I would click on a new screen, it still came up as DuckDuckGo, and I didn't. So I added an extension. I think
You should look at that.
Yeah, and then
because-
in the bottom right were three little dots, and I looked at that, and it said current search engine you're using is Bing, and I thought, oh well, that's got to be a holdover from having DuckDuckGo. Is that
Mhm.
so? I didn't know whether I can just delete that and put in Brave or whatever I want. So I
Because Brave, when it auto installed, switched it to the Brave beta search engine. They have a
I know.
beta search engine, which I don't know where it is in the scheme of things. It's more focused on privacy, but I definitely find the results a lot easier than DuckDuckGo. There was times where I want to search in Google for things and DuckDuckGo for
Right,
privacy.
and I had one question is, how or where do I know? Where do I go to find out what browser I'm actually using?
If do you want to be our guinea pig and share your screen and
Sure, that's fine, I'll do that.
we'll do yours? Because it sounds like you had a harder time installing Brave than I did.
Well, I didn't have a hard time, except that as you know, I have a three MPS download. It took forever to download it. Not because, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you're right now, it looks like in Chrome.
So how do I know that?
Well, I've got a recording symbol. Oh, there it is. So if you click on the web page that says Zoom, click that
Wait a minute. Up here at the launch thing? I'm on
Anywhere.
Westminster for some reason.
anywhere.
Anywhere. Okay.
So, oh, you are using Brave. Look at you.
Well, if I
do you
click on a new screen,
Mhm.
I'm using Brave. What's
But
that?
you're using DuckDuckGo search engine. You're right.
Right. So that's the question is, how do I get rid of
That's
that?
interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting you brought that. So do you want to go to the three dots over on the right-hand side of the browser window?
The right corner.
It's
Wait.
got the little puzzle piece and then it's got the crypto wallet.
Wait a minute, I gotta get rid of the Zoom thing here so I can see that. There you go.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I would
That's just been reserved. What is this nonsense?
so that's their homepage. You can change it if you want.
Oh, before it just said, it had a picture of that lion or whatever it is.
Right. It wants you to
said
do
Brave.
their rewards. So it gives you some,
Yeah, I
Um,
know. I'm gonna
you don't
delete
have to do that if you don't
But I
want.
didn't see this wall and all that other garbage before.
But this is going to be your homepage for them unless you change it. And
Okay.
then if you scroll down, you can get news if you want, and you can
Right, I can
let
see
them know
that.
what your news is.
And then do I look at customize here?
You can, but go to the little wheel that's next to it.
Oh, this guy here.
That should do the settings.
It settings.
And if you go to, right now, it's start where you leave
Continue where
off,
you left off,
right?
yeah. Mhm.
And if you want to make it your default browser, the default browser, that's the section above it. If you want to click
It
that.
says browse is my default browser.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I can't read.
Is it my default? Browsers and search engines are the same thing, right?
No.
Oh,
No. Browser,
my search engine.
Click on the
browser-
button on the left.
browser is the application you
When
use to
you
get
look for things,
to
right?
the internet. Search
Right.
engine is how you get to websites and URLs. It's
Okay.
your way to search the actual
Okay.
internet. So you want to go to search engine
Right, there you go.
and
See?
you can disable.
This. Okay.
And
It's controlling this. Setting.
contribute some anonymous search and browsing data.
And the web search engine used in address bar is Brave.
Brave. So now it's Brave. So maybe when you brought everything over from Chrome, it auto changed it to DuckDuckGo for you.
Okay. But what it didn't do was bring, when I was just using Chrome, and in fact with DuckDuckGo too, I had YouTube, the New York Times, the Washington Post, Solitaire. I had about 8 little icons underneath the search bar thing on my, and all those went away. And I don't
So
know,
it's different than this bookmark bar you have here.
it's but different than that one up here. It was like having apps.
So what will happen as you use Brave?
Yeah.
Let me pull
Are
up
using
mine.
enough, it'll pop them down there?
So let me stop your screen share for you
Oh, here,
and
I can
I'll
do
show
that.
you mine, okay?
There.
So on mine, now that I've been using it for a few days, you can see that
Ah.
my most recent websites are up here.
Okay,
And that's where you can do it under the customize. You can change that and you can add more, or you could show your favorites if you want to show your favorites.
okay.
But these are some of the ad blockers and things that they do for you, so you don't need additional ad blockers yourself. So
Yeah, and it was also interesting when I was downloaded it, was when I was installing it, it wanted my password to my key, whatever, and I thought I didn't have a clue what they were talking about, but I went into my applications and I didn't have a keychain, but that's because I don't save any of my passwords, I'm presuming, online. Is that true?
that's true. If you don't use a default
I don't.
password manager,
Right.
which is good. It's nice and secure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I just didn't know you. Anyway, thank you. So, yeah,
So you're all set?
I
Maybe?
think so. I think so.
I'll be curious if what you think of the search engine results, if you like them better than Google or DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, no, I don't search that often, so what can I say? I search for New York Times articles for Lynn.
My
Which is
gift, my
which is
gift
how I found
article.
it, because I didn't want to go back through 2 weeks or whatever newspapers and looking for it. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Did we answer all your, I know, was that all the questions you had?
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, I don't know how many, there are not that many people on today, are there? I just can't see them.
There's 10.
Oh, they're 10. Okay. Well, if I subtract me and I subtract you, does that make 8?
Mhm.
Okay, because I have,
You
because I
too.
have 8 more. You're right. I have 8 more gift opportunities in February. So if these people really want that article about DuckDuckGo, I can send it to them, but they have to send me their emails.
Well, and Bob and Jean can count as one person.
Oh, that's true. Bob and Jean can count as one person. Just for your information, everybody, I get 10 free Washington Post articles I can gift a month and 10 on the New York Times
Oh,
per
That's
month. And
special.
Lynn has now taken up 2 of those 10 this weekend.
I'm
So,
sorry, I was late because my computer wasn't working, but what was the article about?
the fact that the radical right is taking over DuckDuckGo because it's more private than the others. So they're encouraging everybody to use DuckDuckGo, which currently only 3% of the population uses DuckDuckGo, but 3% of the population is a lot of people.
Yeah, because it doesn't search based on tracking and things, it's going to give you a better overall general search of what the general public is searching for, which is not necessarily the most accurate information. Which is why.
And they had higher priority on the list.
Mhm. Yeah.
But they were Bing, which is Microsoft, and DuckDuckGo were almost exactly the same. Of course,
Mhm.
you know.
and Lynn, did you say that you think Chrome is better than Bing and DuckDuckGo?
Not regarding privacy.
Okay,
And actually, let me pull up the Brave website. The nice thing about that I liked about their ad, well, and who knows how accurate it is or not, but because of advertising, I never trust advertising. But this web page kind of shows you what browsers do. Well, this is browsers versus search engines. So, built-in stuff versus And this is limited protection, no protection, or full protection. So you can see, you know, different things. That's search engine wise. Google is notorious for tracking everything you do on the internet and selling it to websites. So when you search in Google, unless you've turned off, go in and every few weeks, check and make sure you've turned everything off. They're probably sending information about what you're doing on the internet to different companies.
Yeah, yeah, I use Chrome. Is that Google?
Yes.
And it's amazing what the stuff is that pops up everywhere, you know, when I order something.
Yep.
Similar things pop up and it's just creepy. Yeah. On that list you just showed us, there was a green check and then a orange minus, and then an yeah, what does the orange minus mean?
Orange means limited protection. So
Limited.
they have some protection, but not necessarily everything they could be doing.
Okay. So
Right,
I have Firefox, Safari, and Chrome, but Brave is the one I need to put in. Okay.
Which
Yeah.
was in the link yesterday, if you want to
Okay.
download that. But yeah, I have been recommending to you for a while now, just use Firefox over Chrome or Edge. They don't
Okay.
even put Edge on this, right? Because it's just terrible.
That's good.
And this is their website. So like, do we accurately?
This is Brave's website.
Website, right? So Brave is trying to advertise. So you're also like, well, what are they doing that they're not telling us? And we have yet to determine that. But
Lynn, question, how long have you been using Brave?
about a week now, a little less than. I did it over the weekend after talking to you guys.
So I may wait a
For about
while and
3
see how you,
hours.
I
Another
may wait a
question-
while and see how it works for you over time.
Yeah.
So should
Another-
I just remove Chrome? Because it's so bad. Should I just remove it?
That's up to you.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Um,
it would be fine if I removed it. I mean, nothing would happen, right? Just remove it and
Yeah, unless you have all your bookmarks there. Do you have all your bookmarks there?
no.
Okay. Yeah, because I know some people, and my brother lives in Google Drive. So Chrome is really, really helpful because he lives in the Google world for all of his stuff, right?
Mhm.
So, but I'm guessing you aren't living in that world either. So,
Oh, wait a minute. Does that takes away Google Drive then?
no, you
Because
can still access it. It's
Okay.
just not, it doesn't have everything auto saved up in the corner. You have to either bookmark it or go a little longer, which like honestly, I was like, I never really wanted to switch out of Chrome because of that. But Chrome made it so easy that it was not a issue for me when I switched over.
But
So
Marty, our links for Bible study are in the Google Drive, I'm pretty sure, aren't they?
you would
or
just
they-
want to bookmark
All of those
that
links
page.
and yeah. The links for the videos, Marty?
They, I don't make them. Now they're coming through Realm, right, Lynn? They're coming through Realm and then to us through something. It's more complicated than it used to be. So I don't,
I know I digitalized the DVD for you, but I don't remember. And I put all the videos in Dropbox, but I don't know how they're being sent past that.
Nancy, if you have that question, either text or email Kathy Smedley. She knows more about what.
Yeah, I don't care because I'm staying with Chrome. So but I
Okay.
just noticed that the URL said Google Drive or something. So I don't, but it may just be her Google Drive or something that we're accessing. I don't know. But
Yeah,
that's-
she I think has a lot of stuff. She lives in Google.
Yeah, she
My
knows-
question is, has anybody with a PC put Brave on yet? That's what I thought.
I just read about it last night.
Yeah, but are you PC or are you?
Yes,
Okay, all right. Well, I'll wait.
but I think, as I was saying, I think I may wait maybe even a month or so and see how it over a little bit of time works for Lynn
And
and
Connie.
Well,
Connie.
I'd be interested to know if Steven's doing it.
Stephen is at the doctor today, so I can text him and see if he's switched over, but we probably won't hear from him.
And Brave, there are articles about Brave from 2020, so it's not brand new.
No, but it's like Wordle, right? Like it's been around for a year, but like only they're releasing it to, larger.
I have a question that's different from this, but I don't want to go on unless there are more questions on this, on Brave.
Go for
Oh,
it, Bob.
there are. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
So-
who underwrites Brave? Where's
I
their
was just
funding?
looking for that information yesterday. John Frost was asking that, and I have not had a chance to do more of that. I'm thinking it was some kind of like group, a collaborative group, but I don't know. And I got distracted when doing that. Okay, so Brave is a free and open source browser developed by Brave Software Inc. Based on Chromium web browser, Brave is privacy-focused browser with automatically blocks online advertisements and web trackers. So the Brave software headquarters are in Santa Monica, California. So as of December 21, Brave has 50 million active monthly users, 15.5 million daily active users, and a network of more than 1.3 million content creators.
Okay, thank you.
So it seems like it sounds like it's a smaller organization, not eaten up by a giant yet.
And
Operative
Yet.
word
Yeah.
there.
Keyword yet, it's one of those, like, I recommended, Firefox 10 years ago to people, and then they really got bad, and then they got good again, right? And it's just,
And then you recommended DuckDuckGo.
right.
There we go.
It's a cycle, and it's like seasons, right? There are seasons that things are really good and then they go really evil. Like Facebook was a nice friendly place at the beginning
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
ads.
Can you, I heard that you can't remove if you want to stop your Facebook account because of privacy and it's just crazy. Can you stop it or does it just stay out there forever?
You can delete your Facebook account. I have had a ton of friends in the last year or two completely go
Delete.
off social.
So it does
Um,
it just erase it?
And you can choose if you want it archived, if you want to disable it and have it there, and then if you log back in 20 years down the road, you can, or you can completely delete it. You can also create a legacy friend that could shut off your account once you've passed away. So say, my
Okay.
grandmother's die next week and I want to share to their friends, hey, there's a funeral service if you want to go, because I might not be friends with all of their
Actually,
friends.
that happened to my cousin. He died. And then I got requests from him to be friends. And his brother said that he can't do anything about it, that someone has hacked into my dead cousin's account and is doing this.
Mhm.
And that's awful.
Which is why
Yeah.
I recommend to people to have a legacy person, so that, once you pass away, people aren't seeing you, because it is really sad. Sometimes I see
Yeah.
people every year wish this person happy birthday. Well,
Right.
they're dead,
Oh.
right? Like, You
So
want to
I
be
could
able to
go-
shut those
I
off.
could go off and just take it off
Mhm.
and remove it, period. And then if I ever wanted to get on, well, I won't be around in 20 years. I don't plan on it. I'd be pretty old. But, maybe in 10 years, if I wanted to get on, I could do that again with another account. I mean, right?
You would lose all your friends and things. So what's happening now
Oh,
is like
okay.
people are creating fake profiles, right? Like
Yes,
you
they
would get
are.
like a Lynn George and they've got a photo of me from
Yeah,
my old
I've done that.
Facebook.
I've gotten a lot of friends that I already have requests for friends. So I
Right.
know those are fake.
So
But
some
I
people
might-
might go, I've been friends with Marty Bonds for the 10 years. Why is she friending me,
Right,
again?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I recommend don't delete and completely start from scratch. I'd say just hide your profile if that's the case and don't log in. And then if you wanted to go back, or you could completely delete it and go off the internet entirely, which is probably safer security wise. Or if you want, Virginia to be able to access it, if you pass away, and share with your friends updates on your
Yeah,
condition,
yeah.
you would want to make her a legacy
A legacy. Okay.
contact. And that way she could log in through her account and close your account once you've passed away.
Okay.
And you
Lynn,
can
my brother passed away about 4 years ago, and his account's still out there, and I don't know of any way to get rid of it.
Yeah.
In Facebook.
People will see if you can.
I think there is a way to notify Facebook that someone's passed. I'll have to Google that again.
My cousin, the brother who's alive, he's brilliant. And he has tried through Facebook and he said there's nothing he can do about it. It doesn't seem right because he would give all the identification and everything that he has, that he was related, and it still happens. It hasn't been happening lately, but I had a few requests.
The bad guys can use it. That's the problem. They'll hack
Oh, well,
it.
yeah, a bad guy is using it. Yeah. He's-
Yeah.
Yes. And I know like there are some places where you need to like upload a death certificate and things that like family members don't want to deal with, right? Like
Well, yeah.
you're
Yeah.
grieving. You don't want to have to go through these headaches. So it can be frustrating and cumbersome. But I'll do another search and see if they've updated that for people. Because maybe they have, with all of the stuff going on. I would hope they're getting better. Who knows?
I have I talked to you briefly about this. So I was doing my homework, Bible study homework. I was on BibleGateway.com. And they use a lot of distracting, do you call them cookies while you're looking up scripture? There's everything going on all around. Ads popping up. And so I was on it, and this big thing pops up in front of it with my cursor just moving around in front of it. And it said, "You've been hacked." And I was so freaked out that I didn't even read the whole thing. And I was trying to control that cursor and I couldn't do it. It was just on it. It was just taken over. Then I noticed up in the corner, my real cursor was up in the corner. So what did I do? I force quit everything. And then I went back on, and the same thing happened. It came on again. So I went back, it was on Safari. So I went back and I cleared out Safari history. Then, we were texting. Then I went back and went up to, what is that spot you said to go to? The
Backup. time machine.
Yeah, that's fine. The backup. Thank you. This is 101, I know. So, okay, so it said latest backup to my passport for Mac was January 23, 2022, which is pretty good for me. But it's in gray faded letters, right? And then the rest
Like
of it,
this, Marty, where is it? Like this grade yesterday.
yeah, exactly, gray faded. And then the rest of it that says backup, enter time machine, open time machine, that's all black letters. So then I go to, let's see, I go to open time machine preferences. I think I went to that. Oh, okay. It says, so it says latest backup January 23rd, 2022, which is when we did it, but there's a little red dot next to it. So I hit that and it says time machine did not back up because the computer was running on battery power. And connect your Mac to a power source while your backup disk is available. So it says that, although it says up in that, it says that I backed it up, when I hit that little gray red button, it says that time machine couldn't complete the backup to my Mac passport. So what am I, do I believe the gray? Do I believe that? And then I went into another source and it said that it backed it up. So this spot is the only spot that's saying that it didn't back up. And I really am embarrassed to say this to y'all, but the last time I backed up was like in 2020, because I'm not real, I don't have anything important on my, well, I don't have bank or anything on my computer because I just too concerned about putting that on my computer. But I have other stuff that's important to me, and I don't want to erase it since 2020. And then, you know what I mean? So what do you think? Because it looks just like yours. You know how yours is faded up there at the top? Mine's
What I would do is
What?
get Jonathan's computer. That's a clean computer. Plug in the passport into it and open up the folder backups and see what the date is.
what open the, well, you mean, oh.
So take your hard drive.
2022 or 2020.
So take your hard drive,
Okay,
plug it into Steve or Jonathan's computer.
okay,
When you plug it in, it will appear on the desktop.
yeah,
Double click it
okay,
and it will have a folder that says backups
okay, on
click on-
Jonathan's. Okay,
on the hard drive, right? So
Yeah.
you go to the hard drive on the desktop, double click it. It will show you all the files that are saved on that external hard drive. If you double click that, you will see a folder that says backup dot something, and you double click the folder that says backups and it will have folders for every time it backed up on that hard drive, and it'll be listed by date. So you can see by date what the most recent backup is, whether it's the January one or the 2021.
okay, when you say go to Jonathan's computer,
Because his computer is got nothing, no malware on it, right?
I would hope not, no,
So I would be afraid to plug it into yours in case your computer gives it malware
okay,
when you do it, right?
okay.
So that would be a
okay,
way to
would
do
you
it.
give me the progress of that again okay, so I'll go to his, I'll plug that in, and then what's the line of things I double click?
So when it will appear on his desktop
Okay,
saying, you have plugged in passport, whatever.
okay,
Double click that folder open, the passport hard drive, so you can see all the items you have saved on that hard drive.
okay,
And there should be a folder that says backups or something similar to that. And
okay.
you just want to double click that folder backups. And
Mhm.
when you click the backups folder, it will have a folder for every single time it backed up through Time Machine on that hard drive. So it would say, January 23rd, 2022, January 18th, 2021, December 15th, 2020, whatever the date is.
And so even though, okay, that information is coming from the hard drive,
It's,
which backed up my computer, but we're also getting, if it plugs into Jonathan's, it will
it
have
will
the
show you what
information
folders are there, and you can determine
my
if you want to
computer.
bring any of those backups on.
I got it.
And
Okay,
if it's a recent one, you can go, okay, I can wipe my computer then and start from scratch. So if there is any adware on my computer, I can get rid of it.
okay. One more question. Let's say it didn't. Let's say it's 2020. Is there another way around it? I know that would be much more complicated, but is there another way? I might have to take it to the techie place, but is there another way around it that I
Well,
could?
we don't know if you just had ads pop up on
We
your
don't know,
computer,
right?
or if it's
It never-
adware.
Yeah, we don't, and it never popped up again, so I can't take a picture of it. I can't click a picture of it.
Which makes
So,
me think it was an ad,
yeah,
but I can't
don't
say that
know.
for sure. So if
Yeah.
it's just an ad, then there's
Okay.
nothing on your computer, right?
right. But if it's malware, can anybody, if I take it to a tech place, can they work with it so I don't lose everything since 2020?
They can run some antivirus software on it, but it might not pick everything up. The challenge with malware is you can clean it, but sometimes it embeds into folders or documents and you don't realize it's still there.
Oh,
Depending on the type of malware you get on your computer, right?
yeah.
So like if it's easy malware, they can pick it up really easy with antivirus software on your computer.
And do
right?
they know this? If it's easy malware, do they
No.
know? No, they don't. Okay, boy, I am out of luck. I should
So
have-
this is why I tell you back up your computer
know.
every week,
Tell us
if
back
not
up.
every day.
Yeah, I've learned
Um,
my lesson. This is terrible because I may, lose a lot. So if I don't,
So your decision is this, if it might just be an ad, right? You don't know. It could just be an ad. So add an ad blocker to your browser if you're not going to use Brave, right? So you're going to get less ads on your browser. But so it could be nothing. It could just be a pop-up ad that fear mongered you into, thinking you had been hacked.
okay,
It could be you've got adware on your computer and you'll get pops-ups from time to time. It could be you've got malware on your computer and you just have no idea.
mhm,
And the only way to do that is to take it in, and they might clean it up, but they might not. And they might recommend to you where you need to wipe this computer. So
okay.
it's hard to say. I always recommend to people, if you have a backup, wipe it because it's the best, chance.
Okay. But if I do the hard drive thing and Jonathan's computer says it's been backed up since January 23, I'm pretty good since January 23.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that it worked, yeah. Okay, I got it.
But
Thanks.
it's hard. And yeah, it could be nothing. And
I'm
there's nothing,
hoping,
and there's no
yeah.
reason to do anything, right? It could
Yeah.
just be a bad ad that fear mongers.
Yeah, and when we closed out the history of Safari, it didn't come back.
Which is why, yeah, next, if you ever get anything like that again, take a picture or screenshot, because then
Yeah, I just kind of freaked out and I didn't know what to do. So
I
I just
understand.
did I thought if I cut it off that it would be gone. So anyway, that was 101 when you get something like that. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
The same thing happened to me several years ago. And I was there busy trying to write down everything that was on the ad, because I thought too that I'd been hacked. And then I thought of a screenshot. And so I was able to show that to the tech guys, and they determined that was just an ad. As I recall, it was long enough ago, I've sort of forgotten.
But it was saying you've been hacked. It was my cursor was flying around.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it an ad for? Something.
I can't remember. Some scary thing about, yeah, you've been hacked, or you're.
It wants you to download antivirus software,
Oh,
which could be malware.
Mhm. Yes.
well, thank you. I appreciate it. And
But Chuck has his hand raised, so we should let him speak.
Is she done? Is everything's cool with Marty?
yes, thank you. I need to go to, you're going to go on to another subject. I will leave. And thank you, everybody.
Sure.
Good luck, Marty.
Sure.
We look forward to a recap.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Then you mentioned Dropbox, and that's triggered my memory. I've created a couple files in Word, put them in Dropbox. Bev's phone and my phone are both, and my computer are the three devices that are available in the free Dropbox. Bev's phone can't open, or excuse me, Bev's phone can open but cannot edit the files that I have created for her. Do you have any idea how I can make them available to her? I've tried.
What kind of documents are they? Word?
They're Word documents.
And it's the phone you're saying that's giving the error?
Yeah. I can open
Does
them
she
on my
have the
desktop.
Microsoft
I
app
can
on the
open them in
phone?
my phone, but she can't, oh, excuse me, we can open them on all three devices. She can't edit them on her phone. I can edit on mine because I created them. But it's
And you
telling me
both
that-
have the Word app on the phone?
Yep. We open them in Word, but it won't, the little pencil icon at the top is gray. It won't let us edit anything.
What
I've
kind
gone
of
into-
Microsoft account do you have? Do you have one for multiple accounts? I know Microsoft now is like only letting you, depending on your purchase, one device, or, you know.
I have the Microsoft account, the Microsoft version for my Mac that I bought at like Staples to get PowerPoint, Excel, and Word. Those three. And I've used them. I don't have, that's the only subscription that I know that I have. But I don't know whether that's limiting me to different devices or not.
Yeah, I don't know. And Microsoft keeps changing their packages and things.
Yeah, I don't really want to do one of their pay by the month accounts, if I can avoid it. That's why I went to Staples or wherever it was, I don't even remember, and actually it's a little card that has a code on the back of it that lets you download. You put that code in and it activates it. And I've used that for a number of years. It's a recent version of Word and PowerPoint and Excel. But I don't know why she can't edit on her phone. I've gone into the files, the original files on my computer, and checked, the get information. And I've made sure that they're all read and write files, not just read only. but I can't, I can't figure out why she can't edit them on her phone.
And you're able to edit on your phone.
Yeah, and it makes it seem like it's because I created them.
Is her, can you link her Microsoft Word account on her phone to the code you got?
She has the
Um,
same three, she has the same three apps on her phone that I have on mine.
But is she
For
logged
PowerPoint.
into anyone? Like,
I don't think on the phone you have to, I just went to the App Store and downloaded all three of them as we did with hers. And they, they work fine for me. I don't know how much she uses them as to whether they work any differently for her.
mhm.
She hasn't said anything about using them or not using them. So I don't know. I'm just baffled. I can't figure out why she can't edit these files. Because I made them for her because she needed them or she wanted them to
Right.
be editable.
Right. I'm trying to find a Word doc in Dropbox. But I have a 365 account, so I don't think I'll be a good guinea pig. Yeah, but I don't know. She can get it on her computer, iPad, all
Well,
of those?
Well, no, we have the three devices that were allowed with the free account is my iMac here that I'm on now, my
Mhm.
phone and her phone.
Okay.
I don't see any need to pay for a bigger Dropbox account.
No.
I mean, I have an
It
iPad.
sounds,
that I
it
would
sounds
like
like an issue through Word, though. It doesn't sound like an issue through Dropbox. If she's able to view the file,
Yeah, it's a
if she's
read-only
able
file.
to view the file, then I don't think it's a issue through Dropbox. I think it's a issue through Word. If she wasn't able to view it, if the issue is she can't edit, I think,
Yeah,
because
have to
that's
look-
opening Microsoft's Word, right? It goes
Yeah.
from Dropbox to the Word app.
yeah, you can open, once you're in Dropbox, you can open something in Word.
Right.
Is what we've
And
been
that's when
trying to
she's
do.
having trouble.
That's when she can't edit it. Well, she can't edit in Dropbox either, but
Well, Dropbox isn't an editing
right.
platform. It's a sharing.
Right, but when we open it in Word, it's just basically a read-only file because the little pencil up at the top that you need to click to do editing is gray.
Which is
Everything else is black.
Which makes me think that you don't have a Microsoft Word account for that phone. Somehow your phone's okay with it, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either. I'll look into that and see if that, see if
That's my
the way to
only
solve it.
idea. I don't know. And I don't know enough about Microsoft users for phones versus
Mhm.
like computers. But I know they're getting tighter and tighter with their licenses because they want you to buy more, right?
And I'll try to go into the preferences for Word on her phone and see if there's something there that I hadn't thought of that before, but I'll see if there's something there that is preventing her from editing these files. It just makes no sense to me, but I'll look at it at least. It's another option. It's just been
Mhm.
frustrating. I've been trying to figure it out. And I even excuse me.
Chuck, have you done the basic reinstall the basic tire kicker
On her
solution?
phone, you mean, Bill?
Yeah. Her phone reinstall Word?
I haven't. I certainly can try that.
It's just, it sounds to me like a Word issue also,
Yeah,
a Microsoft issue.
yeah. All right, well, I'll look at that and maybe delete them off her phone and reinstall them.
Yeah.
Maybe that will kick it into gear.
Can't do any harm.
Restart
Right.
the phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, her phone is updated, as current as mine is, so it's, it's the correct systems and everything, but it's just been driving me nuts because I can't figure out what the problem is. Dropbox is supposed to be so simple, but and it does seem to perform its job, but I can't figure out why she can't edit these files. It's just driving me crazy.
I blame Microsoft. But I like to blame Microsoft for a lot of
You're
things.
very possibly right, but I'll look into some other options in that direction and see if that solves it. I'll let you know.
I'm sorry, I don't know that off the top of my.
Well, I was just kind of hoping that you had more experience with it than I did, but
I'm not doing a lot of word editing on my phone because
Well,
I
and,
want a
and
bigger
she,
screen.
and she doesn't either, but basically it's a file of price comparisons for
Mhm.
dog products at the various pet stores. And she wants to know where she can buy it at the best deal and so forth. But
Makes sense.
and it got messed up, so I rebuilt it, and now it's telling me that it's a read-only file evidently on her phone, and I'm just puzzled as to why. I was hoping you had a thought, or somebody in the group would have a thought, but I'll keep playing with it.
You're our first guinea pig on that question.
Yeah.
And by the way, how did Chewy work out?
Chewy,
Yeah.
it was in many cases a little more expensive than
Really?
Copy Pet or Petco, because you have to pay shipping unless you buy a certain amount.
Well, I always buy over 50 to get free shipping. But I
Okay.
think Petco owns them, don't they?
Yes.
Just-
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
Well, and how you liking your Roku?
Same situation as when I talked to you last time.
Oh, no.
Situation hasn't arisen to have a conversation. We're busy
Lynn?
on other things
Yes.
right now.
I understand. Yes,
Yeah.
Miss Connie.
Well, I've been thinking about, I had Dropbox on our computer that's now like 10 years old or whatever. And when I got my new phone, I had put Dropbox on it and I could send all the stuff from my old Dropbox to the new one, but I can't do any editing or anything on it because it was a newer version. So the question is whether her Dropbox version is older than
No, all of them are current.
all the same.
They're all
Okay.
up to date.
'Cause I couldn't update mine anymore because my computer's too old.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have a read only and I'll just.
No, I made sure that she has the most recent version of Dropbox on all 3 devices. I upgraded them all. But now I'll check on the upgrading the Microsoft documents, and maybe that's the solution. I don't know. I'll keep after it. It's just frustrating. You know how that is. Right,
I-
Gene? Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
No, I know you wouldn't. You never have problems. I got it.
Oh, no, I can solve them all myself. Yes.
That's
I'm Lynn's backup.
oh.
I did check Stephen about Brave. He says that he has installed it and that he liked the bookmark import was so seamless, but he hasn't used it enough to evaluate the privacy or search aspects. So
Okay.
he might be able to report next week, his thoughts on the PC use. Yes. And I know we were talking about legacy contacts and things, and then we got roundabout, but Miss Connie found that iPhones now have legacy contacts, so you can add for your Mac computers and phones and iPads, a legacy contact.
You can add up to 5 of them.
Yes. So
Yeah. Which is
that's
great.
something you can add to your to-do list if you have not already done.
We had this lecture last week at Marist Grove that I wish I have taken photos of the slides because he sent it to us, but I don't see any way that I can get them to everybody about what to do with all your stuff. Stuff not only being junk in your house, but your banking information and your everything you might want your heirs to find out when you pass away. And it's been really interesting. We've been working on it. Yeah.
Connie,
Yeah.
was this a person who lives at Marist Grove or is an outside speaker you
No,
brought
he's an
in?
outside person and I have his contact information. I can send that to you. He's been here once before. It was a 1-hour lecture. It was start and finish. And it was done by the gal that does all of our fundraising for the resident, not the scholarship, but just the fundraising. And he gave her a copy of his PowerPoint presentation and we all wrote down our apartment number, and 2 days later it showed up in our cubby as a 32-page document.
Yeah, I might be interested in that.
Yeah, okay.
See if it's something that would be of interest here.
Oh, I probably would be unless, I mean, one of the first things that he said was nobody needs to have a safe deposit box. And they shouldn't have a safe deposit box. They should have, one of these fireproof thingies in their closet or somewhere at home, because if you die, your safe deposit box is sealed and the IRS and everybody else has to go in and make an inventory of it before anybody can open it.
I know
So,
my parents have been whittling things out of my grandparents' safety deposit box for that
yeah,
reason.
we canceled ours about 1.5 years ago because we thought it was a waste of, especially when we live in a place like Marist Grove where you've got a gate to get into and an apartment that locks and, I mean, just so,
Yeah. Cool.
but
Any other questions or things you guys want to talk about before we leave? I know we are approaching an hour, so if you want to peace
it's
out,
11:01.
but I don't want to cut anyone off if somebody has another issue.
Nope. Sounds good.
Cool.
Good.
Phil, you good? You're
Thank you
quiet.
very much.
Very quiet.
Okay.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll see you next week.